Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we have a video titled, "This photo just ruined his career." So, I have no idea what this is about. This is a video by Jimmy High Roller, who does some really great content here on YouTube and stuff like that about basketball. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna watch this. I kind of have no idea at all what it's talking about. So, let's see which bitch-ass photo ruined this dude's career, I guess.
He's dominating high school basketball, but he may just be a grown man. Actually, we aren't quite sure. What's up, everybody? It's Jimmy, and wouldn't it be nice to go back to high school basketball and dominate and not like go back in time?
My bitch ass sat the bench, so my bitch ass didn't even make the team, man. I was sitting the bench on the community team, so no, I'm done with high school. I'm done with that.
And restart, but actually just join your high school team right now as a grown man. Yeah, it would be nice.
I would still be on the bench.
It would be unfair, but who would actually be crazy enough to do something so ridiculous? This guy. This damn near 7-foot grown man who has finessed his way back onto a high school basketball team.
What the?
Well, kinda.
What?
It's complicated. I'll explain. At the beginning of the 2018 high school basketball season, a new, physically imposing young Nigerian immigrant by the name of Jimmy Soronke joined the Rockville Ram high school basketball program. The 6'10", 16-year-old freshman made an immediate impact by lifting his team from a 2-22 record the previous season to a 14-12 winning record this past season. Soronke has since been featured on numerous recruiting sites with his dominant season, where he averaged a double-double and led the state of Maryland in rebounds and blocks per game as a freshman. As an underclassman, Soronke was noted as being arguably the best player in the entire state. When you add all of this up, it makes for an incredibly impressive resume for a 16-year-old who's only been in the US for 10 months. Well, it would be if he was actually 16. See, according to Deadspin's Dave McKenna, a Washington, D.C. based reporter who has long had deep contacts in the basketball scene, Soronke is actually a 20-year-old Nigerian basketball player by the name of a man who has already attended the equivalent of college in Nigeria.
Oh my God,
in the past
man!
year, we have seen our fair share of grown men trying to live out their high school hoop dreams. A few months ago, I did a video on 30-year-old Jonathan Nicola, an immigrant from South Sudan posing as a 17-year-old. Just recently, another story surfaced regarding a 25-year-old man who was lighting up some of the best high school teams in the country. But the difference between those stories and this one is that we aren't exactly 100% sure Soronke is or is not a grown man. In fact, no one is sure if Soronke is just a kid or a 20-year-old man, but the evidence against him is pretty convincing. Suspicions of Soronke's real age began when a photo and a profile piece from 2016 surfaced. The profile detailed a 6'11", then 18-year-old Olajimi Soronke Abayomi. The man in the photo looked identical to Jimmy. The profile was featured on a personal website of a Nigerian entertainment promoter. Soronke's name when he came into the US, Olajimi Soronke. To add to this suspicion, the 2016 profile says Olajimi's Twitter handle was BabyShaq38, which is now Jimmy Soronke's Instagram handle. The final piece of evidence came in the form of photos and videos that show Soronke competing in an NBA-backed 3-on-3 event in Nigeria that was limited to participants ages 18 to 35. When looking at all of this glaring evidence, Soronke's real age becomes pretty obvious. But when confronted, Jimmy's coach insisted his paperwork checked out. In fact, he says the photo trail that seems to indicate Soronke is 20.
That bitch ass is lying, man. Look at his face. He's all like, "I'm gonna get those W's. I'm trying to get the NBA coaching job. This dude can play on my team. I don't care if he's freaking 50 and ball, not like Uncle Drew." That's what he's saying, man.
Was actually just an elaborate recruiting attempt by a college in Nigeria. which could very well be true, but why would a coach ever claim his athlete is 4 years older than he actually is? What benefit is there in doing that? But if this story wasn't weird enough, earlier this week the investigation into Soronke's real age concluded, and it has been determined that there is insufficient evidence that proves Soronke is not 16 years old. In other words, no one is absolutely positive he isn't 20 years old, but there isn't enough evidence to prove otherwise. So, looks like old Jimmy is going to have an incredible 3 years of high school basketball ahead of him. If he really is 16 years old, I feel bad that his integrity was questioned in the first place. But considering the evidence that pretty clearly points to the fact that he is a grown man, I'm still not sure what to think about this. Again, him and his coach state that a college in Nigeria intentionally lied about his age as part of a recruiting technique. But that must be some super elaborate technique I've never heard of. Let me know what you guys think. Is Soronke really a 20-year-old man crushing the hopes and dreams of his adolescent competition, or is he just a big old 16-year-old who just happens to have an eerily coincidental explanation? Comment down below what you guys think, and as always, until next time.
So this guy right here is 20 years old, only as a freshman doing this. So that means he's going to be, when he's a senior, he's going to be 24 years old playing against these kids out here, man. Like, he seriously is finessing the entire high school system. And, like, if you see this guy put up numbers like this, then you probably want to give out some scholarships, right? So, this man might be in the NBA eventually, but be 4 years older than what he's listed as. I don't know about that. That's kind of sketchy if you ask me, guys. Give me your thoughts about this in the comment section below, because I don't know. I feel like this guy's just going out here finessing or something, man. I don't really know.